नमस्कार. आपण पाहतो आहोत इयत्ता 12वी संस्कृतम आल्हादहा हे पाठ्यपुस्तक द्वादशी कक्षा. त्यामध्ये सुरुवातीचा भाग आपण पाहिला प्रार्थना आणि सुगम संस्कृतमचा. सुगम संस्कृतम मध्ये दोन पाठ आहेत, व्यावहारिक सूचना आणि व्यावहारिक शब्दस्तबक. त्यानंतर आपल्याला एकदा इयत्ता 8वी ते 11वी आपण काय काय शिकलेलो आहोत या सगळ्याची उजळणी इथे दिलेली आहे. हाच भाग आपला 12वीत पण असणार आहे. तर काय काय असणार आहे हे आपल्या लक्षात यावं म्हणून हा भाग इथे दिला आहे. यामध्ये आहे लट लकार वर्तमान काळ, लंग लकार अनद्यतन भूतकाळ प्रथम भूतकाळ, लोट लकार आज्ञार्थ, विधिलिंग लकार विध्यर्थ, लुट लकार द्वितीय भविष्यकाळ, लिट लकार परोक्ष भूतकाळ हा 10वीत झाला आपला. क्त प्रत्ययांत, तवतू प्रत्ययांत, शत्रुशानच म्हणजे वर्तमान कालवाचक, धातुसाधित विशेषण आणि कृत्य प्रत्यय म्हणजे विद्यार्थ धातुसाधित विशेषण. क्त आणि तवतू प्रत्ययांत म्हणजे भूतकालवाचक धातुसाधित विशेषण. या सगळ्यांचा अभ्यास यापूर्वी आपण केलेला आहे. 8वी ते 10वी मध्ये आपण हे सगळं शिकलो आहोत. 11वी मध्ये आपण त्याची उजळणी केली आहे. 11वीच्या पाठ्यपुस्तकात सुरुवातीचा मोठा भाग या उजळणीसाठी आपण घेतला होता आणि हेच सगळं व्याकरण 12वीला पण असणार आहे. त्यामुळे आता आपल्याला परिचित असेच व्याकरणाचे बिंदू या पुस्तकात असणार आहेत. नवीन कुठलाही वेगळा भाग आता घेतलेला नाहीये. फक्त या सगळ्याची उजळणी करणं आपल्यासाठी आवश्यक आहे आणि त्यासाठी आपण आतापर्यंत जशी या सगळ्या काळ, अर्थ, धातुसाधित विशेषण यांची आपण तालिका पाहिलेल्या होत्या यापूर्वी, तशा एकदा या पुढे सुद्धा पुन्हा एकदा आपण त्या तालिकांची उजळणी करणार आहोत. द्वितीय मंडलम प्रथमः पाठः क्षणम मनोविनोदनम. So this is second mandal and the first lesson of poetry section. Kshanam, for a while, for a moment. Manovinodanam, entertainment. So to please our mind, here is some entertainment. We would now read the bhumika, that is preface. Subhashitam nama sushtu bhashitam. What is subhashit? Subhashit is a good saying. Param न केवलम सुष्ठु भाषितम अपितु विनोदनम अपि सुभाषितेषु विद्यते. So it's not just a good verse, but it also includes entertainment. Vinodanam nama manoranjanam. So vinodanam is the word in Sanskrit for entertainment. प्राचीने वाङ्मये विकिरणानि विनोदन प्रधानानि सुभाषितानि अत्र संगृहीतानि. So here are collected the subhashitas which are entertaining, and these we find spread all over the ancient literature. एतानि सुभाषितानि विभिन्न प्रकारेहि हास्यं जनयन्ति. So these subhashita create humor in different types. That is, it is not just that we laugh loudly. No. कुत्रचित परिहासः, कुत्रचित उपहासः. कुठेतरी परिहास म्हणजे चेष्टा मस्करी आहे. Like we talk with our friends, we tease them. Similarly, there is some teasing. कुत्रचित उपहासः, and somewhere the things in the society which should be blamed are not blamed, but humor is created. This is called as उपहास. श्लेषस्य तथा सूचितार्थस्य योजना अपि क्रियते. So there is Shlesha. Shlesha means the use of words having two meanings. So such type of words are used. Similarly, Suchitartha means indication. Some type of indication is also used here, and by that humor is created. प्रथमं सुभाषितम् पुष्ट्राणां च विवाहेषु गीतं गायन्ति गर्दभाः परस्परं प्रशंसन्ति अहो रूपम् अहो ध्वनिः. The ceremony is a marriage. In this marriage, who are getting married? Those are camels. And in this marriage of camels, the songs are being sung. Who is singing? The donkeys are singing a song. Pushtraha, camels. Gardabhaha, donkeys. So, in the ceremony of marriage of the camels, the donkeys are singing a song. Now, they praise each other. Parasparam, each other. Prashamsanti, they praise. What do they say? Aho Rupam. Oh, what a beauty. So, who is saying to whom? The Gardabhaha, the donkeys, are saying to the camels, Aho Rupam, how beautiful you are. They are dressed very well and they are ready for marriage, and the donkeys are praising them that what a beauty. So they are beautiful. Like this, the donkeys are praising the camels. And how the camels are praising the donkeys? Aho dhvanihi. Oh, what a voice. So your voice is sweet. In this way, the camels are praising the donkey. Now here, this is the Saralartha in English. But then, what do we find? Are the camels beautiful? No. Is the voice of a donkey sweet? No. Still then, both are praising each other. By this personification, the poet wants to tell that in our society, we find such people, even though there are no merits, they praise each other. So it is the fun, it is the humor. Second Subhashit. तृणाल्लघुतरस्तूलस्तूलादपि च याचकः वायुना किं न नीतोऽसौ मामयं प्रार्थयेदिति. Tulaha. What is Tulaha? Tulaha is cotton. Trunam. What is Trunam? Trunam is grass. Laghu means light, not heavy, light. Tara is comparative degree. So, Laghu Tara is lighter. So, the cotton is lighter than grass. Tuladapi cha yachaka. So, we know this fact that yes, the weight of cotton is less than the weight of grass. So, this is what we find in our day-to-day life. This is the fact. But then the poet says, Tuladapi cha yachakaha. The yachak, that is the beggar, is lighter, lagutaraha, than the cotton, tool. So how it will be? Tool is of less weight and yachak is heavier. That is what we know. But then the poet says that the beggar is lighter than cotton. How is it possible? Now the poet says, if we ask the poet, someone, or we ask the poet, Vayuna kimna nitosahu? If the yachak is, the beggar is lighter than even the cotton, why does the wind not carry him away? It is lighter and the wind can easily carry him, but that is not the fact. Vayu, that is the wind, does not carry the beggar. So why is it so? If we ask such a question to the poet, then the poet replies, Mamayam prarthaye diti, that the wind thinks in his mind that the beggar, the yachak, will or may beg me. He will ask for something. And so I want to avoid him. And so the wind thinks that I will not carry the yachak. In this way, the poet says or proves that yachak is lighter than tulle, but still then wind is not carrying it away. So by this word, poet wants to tell us how people avoid beggar. And this fact is given in this verse by making a fun. That is, the yachak is lighter than the cotton. तृतीयं सुभाषितम् भो दारिद्र्य नमस्तुभ्यं सिद्धोऽहं त्वत्प्रसादतः पश्याम्यहं जगत्सर्वं न मां पश्यति कश्चन. Here the poet says, O poverty. Now, as if we say something to God, we call him, O God. Like this, the poet calls the poverty and says, O poverty, Namastubhyam. I bow down to you. I salute you. Namastubhyam. Why does the poet salute the poverty? Because he says, Siddha aham tvat prasadataha. I am powerful. I have become magician because of your favor. Prasada is favor. Siddha. Siddha is a sage who has magical power. Siddhi means power. So Siddha is the person having such powers. And so the poet gives the credit of getting such siddhis, that is magical powers, by the poverty. How is it so that poverty can give magical powers? Because we find that those people who are poor cannot even have something to eat or something to wear. And how can they be magicians? How can they have powers, magical powers? So here is as if already. And so the answer is given in the second line. Pashyamyaham jagat sarvam. Which type of magical power do I have? That I look at, I observe the whole world. I can see the whole world. Aham sarvam jagat pashyami. But then namam pashyati kashana. So if I can observe, I can look at the whole world. There is nothing magical, na? Everyone can observe the world, है ना? But what is the magical power? That namam pashyati kashchana. Nobody is able. Nobody can see me. Nobody sees me. Nobody observes me. Nobody pays attention to me. This is what the poet wants to tell. Nobody sees me. This sentence indicates that the poor person is a neglected person. Nobody cares for him. Nobody pays attention to him. Nobody treats him as a human being. And this is the punch in the verse that the poet wants to tell. We find in the society people who don't care about the poor people. Next, fourth verse, Chaturtham, Subhashitam, Adyapi Durnivaram, Stutikanya Vahati Kaumaram, Sadhyo Narochate Sa, Asantopyasyai Narochante. Now here is a lady, a young girl. Who is she? She is Stuti. She is Kanya, she is Stuti. What is Stuti? Stuti is praise. Now the praise is personified and she is a young girl. She is unmarried young girl. And she is unmarried even today. Adyapi. Durnivaram, unavoidable. Because of some unavoidable circumstances, she is unmarried even today. Vahati Kaumaram. That is, she is not married even today. What is the problem? Why doesn't she get married? Because Sadhya na rochate sa. The good people does not like her. That is, if they don't like her, how will they marry her? So Sadhya na rochate sa. This is the first reason why Stuti Kanya is unmarried, that good people reject her. Now, who remain? The bad people. Asantaha. Now, the bad people are not liked by her. Asantaha api asyai na rochante. So, she does not like the bad people. So, she rejects the bad people. Now, how can she marry bad people? Therefore, Stuti Kanya remains unmarried. So, in this way, by this personification, as if Stuti Kanya is unmarried, that is, some people who are good does not choose her, and she doesn't choose bad people. Therefore, she cannot get married. That is, she cannot go to live to her husband's place. Now, by this, what does the poet wants to tell? Poet wants to tell that good people do their duties, they work for the benefit of others, they work for the well-being of the society, but they are never impressed by praise. On the other hand, the asanta, that is the bad people, they are harmful for the society, but they like praise. Fifth Subhashit, Dvandvoham Vigurapyaham Madgehe Nityam Avyayee Bhavaha तत्पुरुष कर्म धारय येनाहं स्याम बहुव्रीहि. So in this verse we find some words and we know these words. Which are they? Dvandva, Dvigu, Avyayi Bhav, Tatpurush, Karmadharaya, Bahuvrihi. Now what are these words related to? These are words, these are the names of different compounds, samasa, in Sanskrit. And these words have two meanings. And so there is a pun. There is shlesha. What is the meaning? The first meaning of these words is the name of compounds. The second meaning we will find now. Dvandvaha aham. The poet says that I am dvandva, that is, I am married. So we are two people in our house. That is, the poet says I have a wife. Second, dvigu api aham. I am also dvigu. Dvigu, that is a person having two cattle. So I am a person having two cattle. Madgehe, in my house, nityam, always there is avyayi bhavaha. So what is avyayi bhavaha? Vyaya means expenditure. There is vyayi bhava, that is capacity to expend, capacity of expenditure, and avyayi bhavaha means there is a less ability to spend money. So I have a less capacity to spend money, that is, I am poor. So the poet says to the king, Tatpurusha, O great man, O Lord, Karmadharaya, give me some job. Let me do some karma. Yena, by which, aham syam bahuvrihi. I will become a person having vrihi. What is vrihi? Vrihi is grain or rice grain. So let me do some job, give me some job, give me some opportunity to earn so much of rice grain. So in this way, because of pun, shlesha, there are two meanings. While we read the verse, we think that, oh, only the names of compounds are used. How can a person be dvandva and dvigu? And how can avyayi bhav will be there in his house? And so when we get the other meaning, we have fun. Sixth Subhashit. Chaturas sakhi me bharta yallikhati tatparo na vachayati tasmadapyadhiko me swayamapi likhitam swayam na vachayati. In this verse, two friends are talking to each other. The first lady says, "Oh friend, me bharta, my husband is chaturaha, clever. Why? Whatever he writes, another person cannot read it. In such a way he writes. So he is very clever. So he can write something which will be secret for others." But then the other lady says, Tasmad api adhikaha me. So my husband is more cleverer than your husband. Because Swayamapi likhitam, he himself writes, and then Swayam na vachayati. He himself cannot read what he himself writes. What does it mean? He writes and then he cannot read it. So here what is indicated, that so many people we find in this society doesn't have good handwriting, and it will create problems. But then Here, the fun is that she thinks it to be clever to keep the writings secret. सप्तमं सुभाषितम् वासः प्रधानं खलु योग्यताया वासो विहीनं विजहाति लक्ष्मीः पीताम्बरं वीक्ष्य ददौ स्वकन्यां दिगम्बरं वीक्ष्य विषं समुद्रः. Here the poet says that vasaha pradhanam, vasaha, clothes, that our outfits are more important than yogyatayaha, than our ability, than our merit. Why? The poet gives an example. Vaso vihinam vijahati lakshmihi. The person who is without good clothing, the goddess Lakshmi gives him up, that is, leaves him. She rejects him. She goes away from such a person who doesn't have good clothing. Even the goddess Lakshmi also rejects such a person. Even there is an example that Samudra, the ocean, looked at the yellow silk garment of Vishnu and he offered his daughter Lakshmi to him. Lakshmi was married to Vishnu. But when the ocean looked at Digambar, that is Lord Shankar, who doesn't wear clothes, directions are his clothes. Dik directions are his clothes, that is having no clothes. Then the ocean gave him poison. Now, which is this poison? This is halahal, and this reference of this incident is Samudra Manthan. When the ocean was stirred, the ocean of milk was churned, and the nectar was obtained. Now, in that place, ocean gave his daughter Lakshmi to Vishnu, who was wearing yellow silk garment, and gave the halahal wish poison to Digambar, that is Lord Shiva, who wanted to save the world and got the poison. In this way, the poet proves that if we don't have good clothes, we cannot impress others, and therefore Lakshmi, the goddess of money, rejects us, and so our clothing should be very well.